Hi, Balema. We're just waiting for people to get in. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, Pretty's also in. Hi, everyone. Thank you. We're waiting for others to trickle in, but you can just put down in the chat what you're looking forward to or what would you want to hear today. And just say hi and get to know each other. Hi, everyone. I see new faces that have joined. Thank you so much for joining us. We're still waiting for others to join in, and then we'll start shortly. Thank you so much for joining us. As I have informed the rest, please make sure to introduce yourself in the chat and just state what you're looking forward to the most and getting to know our facilitator. What questions do you have coming into these breakout rooms? Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so excited for the session we're going to have. Let's just give the others a few minutes, 2 minutes, and we'll start shortly. Is that okay? Can I get a thumbs up or anything in the chat? Okay, perfect. Please make sure to introduce yourselves in the chat. We want this to be a very interactive session where you can ask questions, get to know our facilitator, and she is really, really experienced and she has a lot of stories and tips to share with you. So we're really excited. So make sure to introduce yourself and make sure to bring your questioning hats so that you can ask any questions that you have or address any points that you want to address. And hello to those that have just joined. We're so happy to have you in this room with us. Okay. Um, I think now we can start with introductions. I'm sure until then the rest can join in. What do you think, Joy? Is that
Yeah, sounds good.
it? Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Meklit Baye. I work with the ALX Ethiopia team. I oversee the recruitment and marketing department as ALX Ethiopia, and it's been a wonderful experience for me. But today you'll be spending a lot of time with our very own Joy. Joy is the program lead for the ALX Software Engineering Programs team. With a background in marketing, Joy brings a deep passion for uncovering and celebrating success stories, not just the outcomes, but the journey it takes to get there. Joy is also very committed to committed to equipping people with the knowledge and skills they need to thrive. She's a seasoned program manager, community builder, and advocate for education. And Joy is driven by impact and believes in the power of learning to transform lives. And we are so glad to be in the same room with you, Joy, and we are so excited to learn from you. And please make sure everyone, if you have any questions, you can write it down in the chat. If you need my support, I can also ask Joy for you. But Joy also wants this to be um, a very engaging experience. So if you have a question, you can ask Joy and let it be as interactive so that we can both, it's a learning experience for all of us here. So over to you, Joy, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Malkit. I really appreciate. And thank you everyone for joining. I know that International Women's Month is filled with a ton of activities, and sometimes some people feel that it's the same thing over and over again. But I'm very happy that ALX has taken this approach, as well as Women in Tech, to just do things differently, as opposed to preaching and listening to fireside talks and not having the opportunity to get to ask what it is that the changes that you want to see or things that particularly affect you and your career. I really am grateful for this opportunity. So I really want to make this super engaging. I don't really believe in and I'm very glad that we have a very small number, so we can make it as intimate as possible. So, um, I would just like throw questions randomly just to get a sense of your take or how you're feeling based off what I'm saying, or to even hear you from your own experience. And then we can tailor like this entire discussion towards that. Because I really want to make sure that you leave the session knowing fully well that this is how you want to build a sustainable career in tech. And this is how you're going to do it. It's not just like talk about, oh, you need to network, you need to do this, you need to do that. Actual tips that really resonate with you. I want to make sure that every single person leaves this call with that. So, sounds good? If I could get a thumbs up. All right, super. Thanks, everyone. All right, so we can just kick off. So first of all, as I really thought about this session, how and what I wanted to bring to it, I again made it as practical as possible, what you could absolutely connect with. But just before I kick off, I want to just give like a brief overview of my own background. And you can see that I am a living testament of what I preach. So everything I'm about to say here is what I am doing, what I have done, and what I definitely and most certainly have a plan to do. My background is pretty much in marketing. I did marketing for about 4 years. Once I wrapped up, I worked for an ad agency, and I did that for about 2 years. And then from then on, I had a bit of a break, a career break, just trying to like figure out what I really wanted to do because I knew for certain that I wanted to be in marketing. I wanted to do stuff that required me to be out there, but not being out there. I'm extremely introverted, but a lot of people would argue and think I'm like the exact opposite. Absolutely not. I really like my peace. I like my quietness. I like my space, but I need to be out there. So it was really trying to find the middle ground between being out there doing what I want to do and then not really having to be always anxious when I'm outside about talking to people, about networking. So I needed to really find that middle ground. And pretty much what I did was I just took a break and I was very passionate about music, about fashion. I am so passionate about fashion. Like growing up, I used to watch a ton of like fashion series. The Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies ever. Sex and the City, that's all my thing. So I really wanted to do something in fashion. And at that time, there was just a craze for permit my language. There's a craze for businesses. Everybody there was this, there was a particular point they were preaching, be an entrepreneur, break free from from the hold of 9 to 5. You can have your own time, you can have your own thing, and it's the best way to build wealth. And I completely fell into that trap, and I was like, I want to start up a business. And I did do that, and it was an absolute failure, like complete failure, to the point that I have told myself that if I ever wanted to be a business person again, it really would be me taking an actual business course, and setting a lot of things properly before I go on and do that because I realized that I was pretty young, didn't really have the right structure. I wanted to do every single thing myself and didn't want to like collaborate on a bunch of stuff. So anyway, long story short, it did fail and that was it. And getting past that point, I had to talk to a lot of people, but not a lot of people though. And I got a stint in a real estate business. So for those who know like co-working spaces, I found myself as a community manager doing that. And I did that for about a year or about almost 2 years. And boom, that was literally the lightning bulb in my entire career. So from then I really realized that for me to thrive, I needed to do work that requires impact, work that has meaning, work that sort of like connects me to people, makes people's lives better and whatever. That was what I was able to find from that stint. And then through that opportunity, I got recommended for an amazing job in one of like the biggest tech firms ever in Africa, I can say it's a unicorn now. And then I got landed the job as a program manager. Again, emphasis on through recommendations. That's how I did get that job. And then from there on, I've just moved on from that to do other things. But one thing I wanted to particularly highlight is that every single job that I've had from that real estate gig was more or less through referral. So that means there must have been something exciting or something that I was doing right in my life at one point or the other. So now it now brings me to now how do I connect this story to building a sustainable career? And it's more or less like trying to get you to understand why it is important to have a sustainable career. So again, like I mentioned, I had a failure period once upon a time in my life. And I think that particular thing also taught me one major lesson. I cannot ever, I cannot ever afford to have a break, afford to fail in that manner to the point that I need to put myself together and start all over again. It was devastating. It was expensive. It put me in a place where I definitely and certainly never ever want to be. And that is why I am super passionate about sustainability. I am extremely passionate about it. So I believe there's one person that could really preach this particular session from the heart, it is certainly going to be me. So just as we kick off, what is this sustainability that we talk about? Some people mistake it for you must always have a job. Like you must never be jobless. You must, especially in tech that is like, we can say it's relatively new. I don't think this whole tech thing has done like 10 years. So we can say it's like relatively new in comparison to other industries such as like medicine or banking or finance or something. It's still relatively new. So there isn't a lot of you can't really be certain about your tomorrow. But the truth is that you absolutely can be if you do a couple of things. You can almost be certain about tomorrow. Maybe not certain a particular organization, but definitely you can be certain about yourself in this ecosystem because again, various factors affect organizations that make people move around here and there. But that's not it. So let's just quickly define what it is that is this sustainable career. What is a sustainable career? So it has a lot of like fancy stuff to it, but it's not very complex. Again, I've said it's not always being in a job. It's pretty much it's pretty much one very simple thing that is remaining relevant. Like if you can crack the code to remaining relevant, I think you might as well just go ahead and just chill. And yes, remaining relevant sounds very scary. It sounds very daunting. It sounds like you always have to constantly do something. But that's the truth. That's life. Like you need to constantly strive to be the best, like literally. And that is literally the hack. A few minutes ago, I just saw a lady in Nigeria who was just appointed to one of the board of one of the major multinationals in terms of like food production. And I really asked myself, I was looking at her, I was like, this person has literally been in a different industry for years. I think even before I was born, literally. But look at her in her 60s, still thriving. There's just one thing that the lady is like extremely consistent on, and that is constantly being relevant as the go-to business person for like in Africa. And that's why she'll constantly get all of these opportunities. So just so that we're clear, and I just so that everybody understands, building a sustainable career is not always having a job. It's not always being employed in tech. No, building a sustainable career, to me, I strongly believe it is constantly remaining relevant. Like nothing leaves you behind. No trend, no shift, no change leaves you behind. You are constantly at the top of your game. And certainly, that is how you can build a sustainable career. So now just so that we can make this a lot more interactive. Does everyone just understand? Because again, they putting this session together, they did say that it has to have some mentorship element to it. So I'm absolutely okay to like asking questions. Do you understand? Do you follow? Is it clear to you what a sustainable career is? Just by thumbs up or raising your hands, just let me know if this is like entirely clear to you. Super. I have one person, two more people, and then I can just move on to the remaining aspects of my session flow. Anybody? We all get it? All right. Super. All right. Thank you so much. So now let's move on to how is it that you can actually build this thing? Like, how can you achieve this sustainability in the tech ecosystem? How can you do this? It's very simple. And I think I've broken it down to just like three very key steps because I don't like to talk too much, but just so that you get it and you can run with it any time of the day. The number one thing that I believe would help anybody at all, be it male, be it female, wherever you find yourself, build a sustainable career is you must have those evergreen skills. Like and it's not even like knowing how to code or knowing how to like write the best code or knowing how to like debug or anything so technical or so hard. Like it's those skills that you wouldn't even think matters. Like things that you're like, oh, you think I'm really good at that. And it's like the basic stuff. Number one, if you're somebody that 1000% people can rely on you to like achieve a goal. If you're given a task, people can go to bed. Your manager can go to bed and sleep and know that, okay, because Nyambura is on that task, we're absolutely going to achieve that. And trust me. You are one person that will constantly remain relevant. Like people know that if we have this girl on this project, if we have this lady on this project, we are good. Like we are good. And once we get this gig, we always keep getting more gigs because this girl can deliver on results. Trust me, you are on the right track to building your sustainable career because wherever you are, people would always look for you. And I think this resonates so well to me. I know that in all of the jobs, despite the various industries that I have been on, there's one thing that people have constantly said whenever recommendations are being made, that if you do want results, Joy is your go-to person. My team members know me. If we're never going to hit that goal, like just know that we're not in quotes sleeping. Like we're not even playing. We must hit it. Like there's no excuses. There's no reason why we shouldn't. We must hit it. You can ask you guys milk it. We work for an org where numbers are like it's like the air that we breathe, like literally. If you're not hitting those numbers, you would be called to MBRs and people are asking you what is going on. So you must be an a result person, like no excuses. Like all those that say, oh, I tried, nah, that can't be you. Like literally, it can't be you. You have, and again, as women, it's a lot tougher because people feel like, and I'm gonna say this without any fear or trembling. People actually feel like women, if they're on stuff, some people, not most people, but some people still have this perception that if women are on stuff, it's not gonna be. Nah, that's not my belief. I will literally get it done. Forget gender or anything as best as possible, possibly even better. we have this rating in, Melky can confirm this, where we have exceedingly, exceptionally, what do you call it? Exceeding expectations, missing expectations. For me personally, I aim, if there's anything higher than exceeding expectations, that is where you find me. And I kid you not, if you ask anybody about me, okay, so recent, I think it was on Tuesday, there was this trend about ChatGPT where they're asking, where you ask ChatGPT to roast you, like pretty much roast you based on your prompts. When I saw what my the response, I laughed so hard. It was funny, but it's literally the truth. The thing was telling me that, Joy, do you sleep? Like, do you actually sleep? Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, come on, you're building. Like, that is literally how I am. Like, you have to show up constantly, be a dependable person people can absolutely trust. And then the second thing is you have to be able to read the room. Like, we are in an era where people say AI is going to take your job. I do not believe that 1000%. I don't believe it because there are certain things that the AI, whatever, can never do. Do you know one of the most important things that AI could never, ever, and absolutely do? It's people, being a people person, like being able to like manage people, being able to talk to people, being able to like be like an amazing stakeholder. If there's a conflict in the team, even if you're a software engineer or you're a program manager or you're in a non-tech role in a tech company or doing tech work, like just being able to be a problem solver. Trust me, I challenge all of the AI tools out there to go on and build something that can eliminate problems in teams, conflict in projects, conflict in whatever, in tasks. There's nothing like being able to manage human beings is, I think, one of my greatest skills. There is no human being that is difficult that I cannot manage. Yes, I may have to suppress myself here and there, but eventually you can go to bed and count on me that I can manage that person. So I have identified mine. Mine is like people management. I can manage any single human being, be it difficult, be it mean, be it kind, be it powerful. If you're a president, if you're a leader, I do not care. So far, I know what I need to do. I will manage every single person. So that is my own that is my own skill. That is what I know that constantly over time would always keep me out there. So you need to find yours. What is yours? Like literally, what is that thing that you have as a person that you know that come rain, come sunshine, you are known for this particular thing. So you absolutely need to find that. And then again, still on reading the room, you always need to make sure that you're on top of your game. So we discussed the soft skills part. There's also the hard skills part, like the tools that are relevant, the techniques that are relevant to your own industry. Like you need to find those out. I have realized that if I'm not great at prompt engineering in my current role, I am in trouble. Like I am in literal trouble because I do like 60 things, 60 different things in a day. I'm writing it comes. I'm doing out a project plan. I'm doing a Canva design, or I'm writing a progress report, or I'm putting slides of our monthly reports, or I'm trying to like track my team's KPIs and deliverables. So I've realized that if I do not have something that can help me achieve all of this in the quickest time possible, I am in trouble, which again goes back to AI. So you always need to make sure that the tools that are trending, the tools that are relevant. And again, I am very grateful to have a manager that puts me like he's always like like puts me on check. What's going on? Like, why haven't you like this is what is trending, this is what is now being used. You always need to make sure that you are constantly learning. As I speak with you, when I'm done with this session, I have a class to actually attend. So you constantly need to make sure that there's no room for laziness. Yes, I have my chill days. Like I have days where I am like a complete baby girl. My husband knows me. I don't even disturb my life. Don't ask me to do nothing. I have those days. But for me to be able to afford those days, I need to constantly be the best I could possibly be. So identify the skills that are trending and make sure that you are well equipped with those skills. That is how to build your sustainable career. And the last and the most important thing is your reputation. Like I learned this from my dad since like forever. If you have a terrible name, if your name comes up in a room And then people are like, huh? Who's that? No way. Hell no, not her. Trust me, you're in big trouble. Make sure that your name is preserved. Like, and you don't feel like it's that you have to be like a billionaire. You have to be like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk to preserve, your name. Whatever capacity you find yourself, like even if you don't even have a job, be known for someone that has integrity, someone that people can absolutely trust. Like this stuff is so underrated that people don't take seriously, but be known for someone that people, and funny enough, mine is so funny that I think it was about last month, my niece was in my house and then she was asking me something, and she now goes to say, Auntie Joy, you don't lie. And I was like, I was actually about to lie. Like, I kid you not. I was literally about to tell a lie. And she goes, you don't lie. And I was like, okay, Leah, I'm so sorry, my love. Actually, the truth is that it's that bad. You have to be somebody that people know you as trustworthy. That is the only way you can be the most talented, you can be the best software developer out there. You can be the person that if you give this project to, she can do it in like 2 minutes. But if your name is soiled, you're screwed. Like literally, you're screwed. So preserve your name. Let your word be your bond. If you say something, if you give people a deadline, be sure to hit it. Like mine is so bad that if I give somebody a deadline and I say end of day today, I do not care. So far, 11:59 hasn't hit yet. I will get that stuff to you so that you can say tomorrow that Joy said she'll get it to me today, and she would. So let your word be all you stand for. Let your word be true. Keep to your word. Keep deadlines. Don't sow have integrity. Let people be able to trust you. And know that, okay, yes, because you're on this, everything is going to be all right. People actually value your presence on stuff. And that is truly and truly the way that you can be a sustainable career. So I thought long and hard for this session. And these are the three things that I know have played a huge role in my life, in my own career. The reason why I have probably done 7 years in tech, even yeah, about 7 to 8 years in tech, working in tech, literally. And this is what constantly shows up for me every single day. The three things: evergreen skills, read the room, read the ecosystem, be in touch with what is going on. Do not shy away. If there's a new thing that folks are doing that is relevant to this ecosystem, please go and learn it. Like, take your time to learn it. I always say that if it's time, you should be able to make time for learning. If you can spend hours on social media, and I hate to use that comparison because social media is so cool to be on. Like it's so easy to spend 2 hours there and not feel anything. But if you can absolutely do that, you can spend 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes a week learning something. And trust me, it would absolutely come to play in your career. And then the last one, like I said, reputation is every single thing. I said the two jobs I've had in tech, the two of them came through recommendations. One person was in a room that they needed to fill a particular and simply said, oh, I know somebody that could absolutely kill this. And then boom, that was it. Of course, I had to go through the interview process for both of them. But if I didn't get my name into those doors, I wouldn't really be here by now. So your reputation is pretty much everything. Show up, be consistent, be dependable, and be excellent. Let your work stand out from everybody else. And you are definitely on the right track towards building this sustainable career. So, as always, I'd have an exercise for you as we leave this session. Milkit, how many minutes do we have?
We have 18 minutes.
Okay, super. Absolutely. So yes. Yes, so just 18 months, just so that we can make it a learning moment. I want everybody to just give me feedback or personal experiences. Do you have any struggles? Do you have any challenges or pretty much anything you want to ask me about building it not even sustainable. Let's take out sustainable right now, a career in tech, and then we can now move on to sustainable. Anybody's got any questions? You can unmute and ask.
Hi, thank you so
Hi.
much. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Best Martin Emere.
Hi, Beth.
I I am so grateful for this session, and I am so grateful that I made it here, because when I was registering for this session, I actually picked this one first, and then I now went over to personal branding. But I don't know, I just found my way back here, and I will tell you that this session has been so power packed, and I really thank you for taking your time to prepare everything that you have said to us today. Okay, so about my own question. I have a problem with being overskilled without
Mhm.
actually having a skill. I know that sounds crazy. You know how I recently, okay, I'm about to get my certificate in data analytics from ALX tomorrow, but
Okay.
that one apart, I am so good with prompt writing for AI, and I'm currently learning about AI agents. Then I'm also learning smart contracts development. The problem is that I can't seem to be able to niche down. I just keep
Mhm.
jumping on trends. You said we can jump on trends that are relevant. And I know that when I actually sit down, I can connect all of this together to build a unique niche for myself. But the problem is that I just keep losing interest and losing focus. The moment I learned about how to prompt rightly and how to really write great prompts, I lost interest, and I'm now doing smart contracts. And I started doing smart contracts. I liked the whole idea of writing code, but then I saw AI agent, and I have ported to that one. So my question is, how can I like find my way back home, find my way to sit at a place and just concentrate on one thing and grow on that one thing without jumping from one. I'm even also doing Web3. I don't even understand
Yeah.
again. So it kills me in the sense that when I want to apply for job, I now have imposter syndrome. I'm not
Mm.
actually doing a lot here to actually apply for job. So it's not helping me stay one place.
All right, thank you so much. But like that is like I can 1000% relate to that. Especially with the way things, the way trends come and go nowadays, you constantly want to like know everything. And trust me, and I'm very glad that you mentioned imposter syndrome because it all boils down to that. Like you constantly feel like you're not enough. And the truth is that we are never enough. Like we can never ever be enough. Like and I think that's how we're created as human beings. Like you can't, we have this, and they call it the it's an insatiable test for just wanting more. If it's for like worldly things or things that vanity things, I think then you can fix it or you know that there is a problem. But with what you're saying, my girl, you don't have a problem. Like take it from me. So I'm gonna tell you one time, I was on a project where we needed to do pretty much everything. I can't mention the brand, but it was for a brand. I was working in tech then. It was for a brand that is pretty much leading the pack in social media, social media platforms, literally. And we needed to do everything. When I'm talking about promotion, marketing, coordination, even developing the actual curriculum for this particular thing, we needed to do all of that. Would you believe that I now realize that there's something that could literally make everybody's lives so simple. And that is us converting text to videos. Like videos that people can actually just watch and then move on with it. You would agree that if you're learning something, if it comes as a video, it's easy for you to assimilate in comparison to text. I kid you not, a skill that I had probably learned at random, like just because I felt like, and of course, because video editing was trending then, that was literally what saved us at that very moment. So, Bess, trust me, it may seem like you're all over the place now, but I can guarantee you that a time will come that you will realize that the skill that you were saying, oh, should I bother? Or let me drop out, it's too much. That is literally what to help you stand out. You've identified your niche, which is you are in the data space. Things are constantly evolving. If I was a hiring manager and I'm I'm interviewing you and you're mentioning this and mentioning that, and I see that Best literally has proficiency in all of these technologies. And then there's a couple of people with like 8 years of experience that are just telling me, okay, yes, I've just been able to master this. Girl, you're my go-to person because you're like the entire package. I'll rather hire one of best than hire like four of the other people and now begin to manage four people. No, and even as a hiring manager, I can already see that you are someone that is constantly on the thirst for improvement. You constantly want to know the technologies that are actually trying to actually better our work. You are who we look for, like literally. You are who people find. I don't want somebody that is just okay. The HR has sent message to say you people should be learning, you must improve yourself, take a course this week. That's not who Best is. Best knows what needs to be learned, and it's after that. So I'm not here to like whine you or make you feel make you feel like you're like, but the truth is that you are literally on the right path. I went to go and do a master's last year, not because I just felt like, but because I know that a time will come that my profile needs to be in a certain way. If it's so shabby or maybe has education experience from like maybe 2012, nobody that doesn't make me sound or look relevant. I constantly have to be relevant. So you are not doing anything wrong. You are on the right path. You are even who I aspire to be. I actually wish I could take more. And mine is so bad that when I go on LinkedIn, I see maybe a connection. You know how they post this stuff on LinkedIn, they say, oh, I just completed this course. I will go and search the course. And I'm like, okay, can I do this? Can I do that? And boom, you would find me there. That is how, because you never know where you will find yourself. But trust me, no knowledge is wasted. Everything you're learning now will surely and surely come to play. Maybe as just a piece of advice to you, figure out how to just put it all at once. Everything you've learned. There's a way you can connect it. Trust me. I learned recently that for those that wanted to do project management, they could even use events like weddings, like actual weddings, to show proof of experience. So, girl, if they are doing that, how much more you? So figure out, look for an AI tool, even ask ChatGPT, how is it that I can connect all of this I'm doing, all the certification I'm doing to be one whole holistic profile, and you're good to go. That's my advice.
Thank you so much. You just literally made my day. God bless you.
You are welcome. Thank you so much, Bess. Any other questions? I see we have around 8 minutes.
Yes. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for this section. I really,
You're
really, really
welcome.
enjoyed. Okay, my question is, I actually studied electrical engineering in school. That was it's almost it's about 9 years now.
Mhm.
And then I have about 3 years of experience in administrative assistants. And then after that, I ventured into business, but I've really tried several businesses. And I just see myself going back to, doing something that is related to electrical engineering
Yeah.
in the tech space. Honestly, I'm really finding it difficult. And I think since last year, I've been doing several courses. I've even shifted to doing courses concerning virtual assistants to
Mhm.
try and see if I can start with that. But I just feel like, I don't know, the whole thing is just, I know it's possible, but is really looking like it's being difficult for
Mm.
me. So I don't, if you can give me guidance
Yeah.
on, where to start. I just want something related to the electrical engineering field that is
Mm.
still with tech and in relation with AI too, because I'm also doing courses that has to do with AI. So I don't know if you can help me with that.
So Belema, you need to pick one because those are like two different industries. And the funny thing is that I don't think we're at a point where, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm very happy to even learn on this, but I don't think I've ever seen a job posting where they are saying we want somebody that is good with AI. AI to do what? Like it has to be connected to something. Is it AI for education, AI for business, AI for engineering, like you said? It's AI, you can't just say you're good with AI or it's not possible. You're great with the prompts that will get you the result using AI. But electrical
Yeah.
engineering is an entirely different industry. Like it is something that is completely different. So you need to just, like they say in Nigerian slang that says, focus on your focus. Like, make up your mind and say, this is what I am after. And of course, I totally understand that chasing your dreams can be very daunting. It can be very expensive because you have to eat as you chase your dreams. But it's just for a period of time. If you put your focus to one particular thing, trust me, you will get your results. I will never, ever, right as I am right now, I know one thing for certain. Business, even if it's looking at me like this, I'm not going to go there. If I see
Yeah.
something that is medically related, because I'm based in Canada, and there's this trend of people working in like healthcare. That is not what I want to do. So I may have the interest, or I may even have some knowledge about it, but I'm not gonna go to that field. So you need to make up your mind. Do you want to go? Do you want to focus on electrical engineering, or you want to begin to look for something outside that? If that's what you want to do, then it makes it very simple for you. Look at you wrapped up school 9 years ago. I can 100% guarantee you that your certifications, your degree from 9 years ago will never, ever, ever. It's not as relevant as it is today. You need to upskill yourself based on that field. And if you don't want to do that, you want to do something more like we're discussing right now, tech, computer related, then what do you need to do? You mentioned something about the virtual assistant program. That is like it's a fantastic path to begin to take. I know VAs that sit in Nigeria and earn $2,000, literally, like literally. Of course, like based off what we've said earlier on, there are so many VAs. You can ask Belki in our own organization, we graduate around maybe I think more than 20,000 VAs every single year. That's 20,000 VAs in the market. How can you, Belema, as a VA, begin to stand out? Like that's what you need to figure out. But the first thing you need to do right now is make up your mind. I do it almost every single time. I think it was last week. I did a pros and cons exercise. What will I benefit from this? What will I benefit from this? Which one, and it helps me make my decision. So just wrap this up real quickly. Make up your mind which path you want to go and take, and the path that you want to go and take, begin to upskill yourself right now. Upskilling can be daunting, it can be very traumatizing because your mates are doing other things, but trust me, it will eventually pay off. I hope this helps to give you some clarity. And if you want to talk a bit more, you can find me on LinkedIn. I think my name is on the whatever. And then we can definitely chat a lot more. If you need like clearer advice or more straightforward advice in making your decision. But I guess that's a wrap from us. I see we're at 11 seconds out. And
So
it
much,
was so great
so
doing
much.
this with everyone. I really appreciate it. If you want more, just find me on LinkedIn and I'll be happy to help.